Okay, we're recording. All right, so this is Bike Records. Our team, so we want to create like a core team that would really be essential to the functions of our record label. We're trying to create like a small indie label. So we're thinking we're not going to have a lot of money to hire on a lot of extra people, a lot of extra departments. So we really just identified the real essentials. So we have an A&R department, and they're responsible for finding talent. An art department, they're responsible for the aesthetic presentation of the label. So this is things like what our logo looks like, kind of having like a uniform image across our label, which will really help with brand recognition. Marketing department, they create marketing plans for artists and their releases. So they're going to be responsible for really making sure that an artist has a good presentation to the public, making sure that they're getting out there, kind of the overall look of a campaign for a record or a single release. Our legal department is responsible for artist contracts, so that's really important. Our publicity and sales are going to be promoting things, getting stuff out there, contacting radio stations, partnering perhaps with other brands, other labels. Business affairs, they're responsible for the real like financial part of a label. So they're going to be thinking about the internal structure of our business, making sure that we're financially viable, stuff like that. So for talent, we really want to focus on Emerson artists. We have a lot of really great bands that form at our school, play at our school, and we think it'd be really cool to get them some official release, some official recognition. We have a few examples here of bands that are pretty well known in the area, and we think it'd be just a really cool opportunity to connect more with our community and get them out there. Aesthetically, we're going for kind of a punk DIY aesthetic. This kind of draws on the aesthetic that's already present in the Boston music scene, very artsy, very do-it-yourself. We have some examples of DIY aesthetics from previous decades. On the left is like classic punk, and on the right we have like Riot Grrrl. So these are kind of like our touch points for where we're going.
Okay, so for our business plan, we wanted to create a record label where it would represent us three and represent the different aesthetics we are surrounded by throughout our time at Emerson College. So we wanted to create something that like translated our experiences and the people that we are surrounded by and the environments that we're constantly around through a record label to give other people the experiences that we have. So this record label will represent our peers and their creative and musical talents. So like Ian said, the record label would resemble an indie record label. We want it to resemble an indie record label because we want it to be genuine and represent the artist and the musical pathway. Also, so we can make it something that's our own and will connect with like our particular audience and the people who are interested, people who either go to Emerson College, people who are around the Boston area, people who are just interested in the school, even alumni of the school. So I took this quote, it said, indie labels are now outranking major labels in terms of total market share. So they are doing really well. Obviously, like kind of things at the start small to grow big. So it's kind of like our idea with this. And then, so our, like I was kind of mentioning before, our company would target Emerson College students, other Boston schools, people in the city of Boston itself, also people like alumni, like I said, people are looking to in the future go to Emerson College, just kind of like trying to make it like a community record label. And so we would have a hierarchy structure, so there'd be a CEO, there'd be managers, and it goes down from there, so everyone would have like their own little line of responsibility throughout the company.
For our marketing plan, we want to use 4 different methods to market both the radio station, both the record label, and the students. When we are using this marketing plan, the first thing we want to do is merchandise. We would do a lot of merchandise for both the individual bands that we are working with, and then also the record label itself would have some merchandise. 2 examples are shown here, which is a sticker, and then there's also the example of the t-shirt with our name on it. We also would have things like posters and zines that would go along in this merchandise as well. We also would market through social media. We would have platforms all throughout Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and even the latest trend, TikTok, just so people know us. They get recognition when they see our brands on different places and they see our artists on different social media networks. It just allows people to kind of get to know us a little better. And then another event we would do is we would host live events for our marketing. And these events would be hosted by the label itself, and we would be either having our own artists perform or artists that are collabing with our artists. And it would be a way to get our name out there and to draw a lot of people in to get to know our label and the people that are working with us. And then lastly, we would work with the radio show WECB FM at Emerson, and that would be a way to kind of spread our name out there and market to people who listen to the radio station and also get our artists out there as well.
Sweet.